Hi everyone, this is Itza with Itza Thoughts, and today we're going to make a mini top hat, and this is what the top hats look like. It's a small little top hat. And the one thing that I like to do with these, you could make them to wear them yourself if you have somewhere where you can wear something like this. You just need to cut some slits at the bottom here and put a headband through it, and you can wear it. Or you can put some clips on here and you can wear it. But I like to use these as home decorating pieces. I haven't done it to this one, but you can add those Tim Holtz pins where you can attach a picture on them, and you can do that. You can put a picture on them. And this is one example. Here's another example. This one is a little bit smaller. Small ones like this I use for like party decorations or party favors. Um, and again, you can put a picture here of someone. But this one is open at the bottom. And this one is made out of paper, scrapbook paper. So the whole outside and the inside is made out of paper. This one is made out of fabric. And here's another one. This one is like for a wedding party favor. You can't really see it because it's white. But this one is made out of felt. And again, if you use these as party favors, you can put a paper here with the details of the party, and you can add a little picture here of whoever's having the party. So this is what we're going to make them, and I made mine out of, I like to recycle stuff. So if I can craft with it, you know I'm going to do something with it. And these are empty spools. This one is from, I don't know, those plastic ribbons that you put on party gifts. But this is what it looks like this. And that's how I made this one here. This one has like a steampunk Victorian style to it. And these are very simple to make. If you like that Victorian style theme, then this is a great project for you. So again, this is the spool. So you're going to need a spool. You can also use a cup or an empty, like a yogurt container, or an empty, like that type of container you can also use to create these little top hats. It just depends on how big you want it and what you're going to use it for. But you also need a piece of chipboard or a piece of a cereal box. This is the base of your hat, and the small ones I made out of an empty tape spool. So these teeny small ones, you know, these right here are made out of this, an empty tape spool. So those are the kind of things you can do out of it. I've also made all kinds of other stuff with those spools, so it just depends. And you'll need that for your base, and you're also going to need some felt. I like to put felt in it because it gives the fabric a little something to grab onto, so it doesn't feel so like it's on chipboard type of feeling. So I use felt, and I buy my felt by the yard. It's cheaper, and there's a lot of uses that you can use for felt if you're a scrapbooker or a crafter in general. Felt is really good to have around. And you're also going to need fabric. This is satin fabric. It's that shiny glossy fabric, and that's how I made this one with the same type of fabric. The only difference is that the fabric, when it originally started, the project was white, and I used my Lindy Stamp Gang sprays and I turned it into that pink color. Today I'm going to be making more of a gothic, steampunk type of hat. I got this spool of ribbon here that I've been, you know, trying to find something to do with it, and I think it would go good with this project. So let me show you guys. It's really cool. Has these different kinds of faces. Gothic girls in frames. So I'm going to see if I can incorporate that. Aside from your fabric, this is vinyl. I also used vinyl on this one. The band here. This one is leather, but I don't have black or red leather. So this one is leather, and you can also use vinyl. So we're going to use that. You're going to need your heating tool. You're going to need scissors. You're going to need a hot glue gun. Excuse mine is beat up, but it's used every day, and I've had it for for a very long time, for over 7 years, so it's beat up. You will also need, depending on the type of fabric that you use, I preferably like to use white fabric or a light cream type of fabric, because I can spray it and change the color of it. So I'm going to use some Lindy sprays to give my fabric some color and interest, some texture. I have a few colors here, and as I use them, I'll tell you the colors. You're also going to need feathers. If you want, you can use feathers. I have some bird cage netting here that I use to make a fascinator for a wedding, for a headpiece for a wedding. So this is my leftover piece of it. And to finish it all off, you're going to need some embellishments. I normally gather up a whole bunch of embellishments, put them on a plate or in a box, and I have everything ready for when I'm creating my stuff. This way I don't stop and lose that momentum. So I generally like to keep everything together, and whatever comes out, comes out. So here I have, you know, laces, trims, I have bling, beads, you know, metal findings. I have paper flowers, pearls. I have different kinds of pearls. I have chipboard gear. These gears I purchased at from a girl called Saw Crafters. You guys can find her on Facebook or YouTube to find the links to her store. But she carries these really awesome chipboard gears. And she gives you like 20 or 30 of them for really cheap. And she offers really good service. I'll put details when I post this to YouTube. So I have that. What else? I have some findings from Prima, these zipper pulls, and I have these little light bulbs here. Also, I think it goes good with the steampunk theme. What else? That's about it. I have, I think that's about it. That's all you'll need. So now that you know what you're gonna need, I think we can get started. Let me just move everything aside, get my workspace ready. Do you have any questions? This is being recorded and it's going to be available here on Ustream, or it's also going to be available on Facebook and on my Facebook page, or it's going to be on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. So you guys can always come back and watch it later and craft along later also. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I cut a hole here on one side of my spool. I cut a hole. For this one, it already has a hole, so all you need to do is cut a top piece the same size as the top of your spool, and that's going to be the top of your hat, and the bottom can stay open like this. You're going to need a circle piece of chipboard, and ideally I always leave about 1.5 inch, 1 inch to 1.5 inch allowance from the center here. Once you have your spool on your chipboard here, you leave about 1 to 1.5 inch all around, and this is going to be the rim of your top hat, like this. See, like this. And it gives you your space to put your decorations. These are those gears that I was telling you guys about. I don't know if you can see, but I have pictures of this project on Facebook. So I cut a hole here, and this you guys will see why I cut the hole later. And you're gonna start off with your felt. I roughly cut a piece of felt, just kind of eyeballing it. So you're gonna glue your felt to your spool here. And I didn't cut it perfect. It's not a perfect cut. You guys can see that. I'm gonna trim it off as you know as I go along. So you get your hot glue and you start putting hot glue and you start gluing your felt to your spool. And this is going to be at the bottom. You're going to cover the top with fabric, so it doesn't matter what color it is. I just happen to have a lot of black, so that's why I used black. I used black for the other hat too, so you guys can't see it. You're gonna keep adding glue here. I'm gonna go all around. My hot glue gun squeaks. Okay. So now I glued it all around. Be careful not to burn yourself with your hot glue. I think I'm kind of immune to it. It doesn't really hurt me anymore. Now I'm just going to cut off the excess. Okay, so it's going to look like this. This is the top part of your top hat. So you need to put some hot glue and felt on top of there too. You're going to trim around. This is a very fast project. You can easily finish one of these in about an hour. Now mine isn't perfect. See, I have some gaps here, some gaps here, but it's okay. This is going to be at the bottom of it. Nobody's going to see it. So we got that part done, and you need to put felt on one side of your big circle here. If you're not a hot glue gun type of person, you can also use wet glue. I would recommend fabric glue, but that takes a while to dry, and wet glues can stain your fabric and leave like a white residue on it or something. You don't want that. So you trim. You trim the excess off. Okay, so now you're going to be left with pieces that look like this. Okay, so now you're ready to put your fabric. And the way I do it is I cut a piece of fabric and I put the top part of my hat down like this on the fabric so the hole is on the top. And I bring it in like so. I would recommend you do the corners first, the corners of your fabric first. And that creates those pleats that you see. Let me just, this is too big of a piece, so I need to cut it. The piece of fabric has to be long enough to cover the whole top part of your hat and be able to tuck it in. If this was paper, then you wouldn't need the felt, and you wouldn't need the fabric. All you need is just your paper, some double-sided adhesive, and you cover your hat piece by piece. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in the corner here, just making sure that I have enough fabric. Okay. And that's gonna create these pleats that you see here. These pleats here. Do you guys have any questions? Do you have any questions? So I'm gonna put a little bit of hot glue on the end inside here and a little bit here on the top. And I'm gonna bring my fabric and I'm gonna tuck it in and glue it in there. And I'm gonna bring this corner and do the same thing. You're tucking in the fabric inward. Now to create the pleats, you start by doing it here. You just gather the fabric and you glue. Put glue on the top and you hold it in place. And you get the fabric like this and you glue it in place. And it's creating those pleats here. And the good thing about fabric is that when you put hot glue, it goes through several layers of fabric sometimes, depending on how thick your fabric is. So I'm just gathering my fabric and gluing it down. Just keep pleating all the way around till you're done with the whole top part of your hat. I'm almost done here. So this is what the bottom part of mine looks like. All the fabric is tucked in here. That's why I cut a hole here. And the top part looks like this. And this is the sides. Make sure everything is glued down nice and tight. It's okay if the bottom, if this part has all that glue, you see all that glue that's there, that's okay. It's going to be covered. So now I do the same thing to the rim of my hat. I cut a piece of fabric out big enough to cover the whole rim. So the piece has to be big enough to cover like this. To bring everything like this to the center. Okay, so you're gonna put the felt part of the rim, you're gonna put that facing down in the center of your square here. And you're gonna bring everything to the center of the circles. So I like to start again with the corners. You start pleating the sides and bringing them in like so. And gather all your fabric in the middle here because it's not going to be seen. It's going to also be tucked in to the bottom. It's going to be tucked in here. Again, if this was paper, you would just need to cover both sides of your hat with a decorative paper. And you would cover, if this was paper, you would cover this part. You would cover the top with paper, and you would leave the bottom part open with no paper. Hi guys, how's it going? You guys okay? You would work your way all the way around like this. I have glue all over my fingers. Make sure you pull all the cobwebs out. And this does take up a lot of your hot glue, so make sure you have plenty of hot glue sticks to do this. I've already used, I think, 2.5 just on gluing the felt and the fabric. So I'm done, and I'm just gluing everything down, making sure everything's down. So it's gonna look like this. It looks flat like this on one side and all pleated and gathered like this on the other side. This is the bottom of your top hat, and this is going to be the top part of your rim, and it's going to look like this. Now we are going to glue this part to this part like this. So when you glue it down, it's going to look something like this. You have to work quick here when you start gluing this part down. The glue does dry a little bit fast. Putting glue all around the bottom part here. Make sure you're generous with the glue. Okay, all that glue. Make sure it's in the middle so you have an even space on all sides. And that's what it looks like. The bottom part. See, we're already done making the top hat, and it only took about half hour or so. So I was thinking for this one, I'm gonna put this red vinyl. It's vinyl. Maybe around here, around the edge here. Or I can put, I'm going to be using these feathers here for it also. These feathers. But before I do that, I'm going to spray this to give it some added texture, some shimmer, just an interesting look. So here is where I bring in my Mindy Stamp Gang sprays, and I am gonna first spray it with Amaryllis Burgundy, this one. It's called Amaryllis Burgundy, and this is a Starburst color. Let's hope the sprayer works. And it does. And I'm just going to spray it randomly. Now I'm going to heat set this. Oops. Would help if my heat gun was connected, wouldn't it? And as you're heat setting it, it's also going to help because it's going to burn off whatever cobwebs were left behind from the hot glue. Okay, I really like the way that looks. I don't know if the camera's gonna capture the way it looks, if it captures any color at all. These feathers I purchased a very long time ago at a powwow. I don't know if you guys know what a powwow is. It's a Native American gathering where they have, you know, dances and they have booths and they have food. It's like a fair kind of thing. But I bought these a very long time ago at one of those powwows. And I've been hoarding them for a very long time because I haven't seen anything like this out in the market. But you can also find these online. Just Google feathers and a whole bunch of websites will come up where you can purchase feathers. But these I've purchased a long time ago, and I purchased quite a bunch of them in different colors. I purchased some that were like this, you know, this kind of feathers. But the next color that I'm going to spray this with is Buchanan Bay Blue. And this is Moon Shadow Mist. That's what this is. You guys can't really see that, can you? But this is just going to add shimmer to it in tones of turquoise. And the heat set that. I think the camera, once I take pictures, it's going to capture the colors very, very better than the video. So I'll take pictures and post them on Facebook and my YouTube channel. And the last but not least, I'm going to put a Frolic in the Forest Black. And this is also a Starburst. And these are mainly for the shimmer. I really want shimmer on them. So this is what that is. It's going to give it like a bluish tint mixed in with red. Ooh, I really like that. It kind of looks like a peacock sort of effect. Okay, I really like that. Still feels a little wet. You have to make sure it's fully dry, otherwise your hot glue won't work on a wet fabric. So this is what it's looking like. Now, not sure if I should put this. No, it's just embellishing. So whatever embellishings you want to put on it is strictly up to you guys. I have this fringy like lace here. Not sure if I want maybe just use the lace. I should put it's gonna that's gonna be funny. I also have this one with these girls here. I'm just gonna have to cut them out. And use them as like a background element. So let us see. Can you guys see her? Oops. This is the other one. Isn't this great? Look at this one. This one kind of looks like Chucky or something. So I'm not going to use that one. I'm just going to use these two girls here. Just kind of cutting around it real quick. There's one image cut out. Cut this one up. I'll probably spray them also with spray the edges of the fabric of the images with some of that black spray. Okay. Okay, so here are my two images. Now I'm gonna spray them again with the Frolic in the Forest black. I'm just gonna do the edges a little bit. I think this one would have been better if I did it with the brush, but I don't have a brush with me. I am not in my scrap room. So let's try them out. I'm not sure if I'm going to use both of them or I might just use one of them. I'm not sure yet. I'm just going to use one. Okay. I want to see if I use some of these gears here. Use some small ones. Okay, let's see. Not sure if I'm going to use all of them. Not the big one, that's for sure. But I'm going to spray all of them just in case. So I'm going to start with, again, my Amaryllis Burgundy. Then I'm going to spray it with Danny Suko Denim. Just randomly. And I'm going to heat set that. I'm spraying on this cardboard piece because I'm going to use it for something. And I want to use up as much of this yummy spray as I can. So then I'm going to bring my Buchanan Bay Blue and spray those. The chipboard just sucks up all the paint and it leaves the shimmery stuff on top. And now I'm gonna spray with, this is called Mission Bells Brown. This is like a copper cup type of color. So it adds that metallic feel to your gears, which I really love this color. I have like 3 bottles of this at home. And last, I'm gonna add some Frolic in the Forest Black, just to dingy it up. And these colors make your gears look rustic. A very rustic feel to them. Now I like to add some Glossy Accents to the top of my gears and heat set it, because I like the bubbly, the way it bubbles. I like that look. It seems to be clogged up, so I need to get a pin here so I can unclog it. I'm almost out. I just randomly added and then smear it along like this with my fingers. You can also use crackle paint. It also gives it a really cool texture to your gears. Excuse me. You can also emboss your gears. That's what I did to those over there on my pink mini hat. I embossed those. Before I dry it, I'm going to give it a spray. And heat set it. And I'll show you the gears. You see? Look how awesome the paper this is coming out with impressions of the gears in the background. Cool. I'm gonna make this cover out of this chipboard here, so that's why I have it like this. So back to the designing part of it. I am done with my sprays for now, I think. And back to my hot glue gun. I think I'm just gonna spray just some of these flowers I have here. Just to give it some shimmer. And I'll let them dry as I put the other stuff on. Ooh, I like that. Now I'm gonna let these air dry over here by themselves. Look at this one. Okay, so bring my top hat back. And I'm gonna cut a straight line, or I'm gonna try to cut a straight line. We'll see. Don't want it too thick. This is gonna go round like so, like this. I get my hot glue. It's not hot yet. I had to unplug it to plug in my heat gun. Now my hot glue gun is cold, so I need to wait till it heats up. But it's gonna go like this. And I was liking this trim here. I should just cut this. So it's gonna look like that. Can you see that? So and I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna make this close this and glue this on the back part of my hat. So you have to determine at this point where's the front and where's the back. And I like to kind of curl up, bend the rim up like this. Just curl it up a little bit. So it gives it a bent look. And I like to do it on one side generally. It's going to look something like this. How do I show you guys? It's just the side. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Miss Williams. Thank you. It's going to be recorded. I'm just recording this, so, but it was nice having you here. Thank you. If you do decide to create this, please post your picture on Facebook. I would really love to see what you come up with. You can find me on Facebook. Just go to Itza Thoughts, and I should pop out there. So now I am going to, that's the side, so this is the back. Okay, so I'm going to put a line of glue here, and a line of glue here. Now I'm just adding my ribbon to the top of the vinyl. It's a really cool effect. So this is the way it looks so far. Okay, so next I'm gonna start adding my embellishments. I have to kind of bend the gears a little bit so they are shaped to the form of the hat. Kind of eyeball it right now. Just play around, make sure everything is where you want it to be. Kind of make the layout before you commit to anything, you know. Play around and see that everything is where you want it to be. I kind of like the way that looks, but I'm not sure yet if I want to use the gears or not. So let me get my feathers. I'm going to cut it in half. And what you're left with when you cut your feather is a piece that looks like this from the top. That doesn't quite look like a feather, so I'm just going to add a little bit of hot glue, just a drop to the back part of it like this. And with my fingers, now be careful, I'm going to join them together and it's going to look like this. It's going to close that little gap there. See? So now I have two instead of one. It's going to kind of look like that. Never sprayed feathers before. I'm going to be brave and I'm going to do it right now just to give them a little tint. Not sure if it's going to work, how the water is going to make the feather look. But very lightly. Kind of air dry it. Ooh, look at that. I like that. I'm going to let them dry. And I'm going to cut my black feather also. Just kind of play with the arrangement here of the feathers. Okay, so my feathers go there. I bring my box. I do have this bird cage netting I can probably also use. And I have this. I have that. Where's my girl? I can put her like that in the middle. And add my flowers around it. Maybe tuck a gear in the back. What do you think? Some of these tiny black ones. Maybe put a little red. Yeah, I like that. Give her some bling also. That, yeah, I like that. I'm gonna go with that. Okay, and I'm going to use one of these. I'm going to use the one that says, I think I'm going to go with I believe light bulb and the moments one. The zipper pull. Have this part also. And some of these into it. zipper pull here. What else? These teeny tiny flowers. And then there's another one. And I think that's about it. There's some bead caps here before I can put a stick pin. Let's see if I have a stick pin. Yes, I do. I have a stick pin. So I'm going to need my stick pin. Like some chain. Put some beads here. Another zipper piece. So for my stick pin, this is nice. Another pearl. Just trying to work on my stick pin here. Okay, I like that. There's one. didn't bring my beads with me, so I don't have a wide selection here of beads. I just kind of threw whatever I could reach in here. I was running a little bit late, so I apologize for that. Anyhow, that's about it for the stick pins. Just move this out of the way. This one. Do that. Let's see. Looking for an end cap. I had one a few minutes ago, now I can't find it. Don't you just love that? Anyhow, back to where I was at here. I really like that the feathers took well to the Lindy spray I put on them. Now this is a little too white, a little bit too white for this project, so I'm just gonna gather it up like so and spray it a bit. Now it matches all the colors that I'm trying to spray on here. Bring my heat gun again really quick. Just gonna cut this in half. Just kind of gather it up here. And gather it like so. It's going to look like this. Now be very careful because this is not very thick. So if you put hot glue, you could burn yourself. So be warned. Be very careful not to burn yourself. I like to use my scissors or pliers or whatever you have to avoid putting your fingers directly on there. I'm going to do the same with this. Cut a little triangle out. Just pinch it like so. Like so. It's looking like this. See how it looks? Now I'm gonna, since this is just a piece of fabric, I'm gonna put her in some kind of backing. And I have this metal finding here, and I'm gonna take the center off. I don't want the center. So for that, I'm gonna need my wire cutters, which I have here. And I'm gonna cut through the back like this. Almost done. So this is what it looks like. Just have to trim it off. Okay. Okay, I think she fits. So she's gonna look like that. Bring my hot glue, just put dots. I don't want to put it all over the place. That's what she's gonna look like. And she's gonna go here. Like so. Before I do that, I need to add my feathers. Trying to find a good arrangement here before I glue it down. Because this one curves to the side. Okay, there you go. Now I just put hot glue. Push everything down. You guys think? Look at that. I did want to incorporate some chain on here. So I do have some chain here. I think I like this one. I'm going to put it all around like